I'm Amanda, and I'm going to be doing some painting today. I'm in the loft at Battleground Games and Hobbies in Abington, Massachusetts. Battleground Games and Hobbies has 3 locations, one in Abington, one in Saugus, and one in Norton. The Abington one has this loft that is a great place to stream from, so that's where I am. It's also closest to home for me. I'm going to be doing some figures from the board game Starship Samurai, which looks effing awesome. It is a game about samurai mechs. So I've got, these are big, to give you an idea. This is my hand. That's how big they are. They are large. So this belongs to a friend of ours. This belongs to our friend John. John often joins us on our Friday night streams. On Friday nights, we stream board games at 7:30 Eastern. And John saw this game. Andy mentioned it to him. He was like, I need to go look at this. Looked at it, bought it, and I offered to paint it for him. So there are 8 figures. They are all this size. They're all very large. That's another one of them. You might notice I've primed some in white and some in black. That's because this guy here is this guy here. And while his armor is red with some darker bits to it, that I can accomplish over white, but all this fur back here, not so much. The other one that I primed in white is her. Because her armor is all silvers, silver and white, with this really cool detailing right here. So yeah, I'm definitely going to be, I'm going to want those primed in a light color. So I just had to do a second hit of primer on 5 of them that have, there's a lot of, you might notice, like this guy, he's got this very dramatic cape going on. His weapon has a lot of nooks and crannies in it, and that's not even the half of it. Some of these guys are very detailed in terms of how many little nooks and crannies they have. You might notice lots of little nooks and crannies, and got to get up in there. So I had to sort of turn them over and give them another hit with some primer. Also, the can of primer that I was using was a little tapped out, so I had to get in there and fix some stuff. That's interesting. One of his swords is missing a handle. I'm going to leave that one for last. So I'm wondering if that handle is in there and if I can glue it back on. We'll see. Anyway, we're going to get started. I think I'm going to start with her. Do I want to do her first? Let me look at who else I have available to me. It's not him, not him, not him. Oh, yeah. So this is the guy with the cape. Hideyoshi. Gold and black. Very dramatic looking. That cloak is just, it's got that gold line, like, edging around it. It looks like his weapon, his big, giant, like, pole arm, is also got a gold blade and a gold handle down here, and a black staff. Yeah, maybe I'll start with him. He looks fun. He looks like a good time. So we're gonna play with him, I think. We'll do him and Gozen. So one of the cool things that John realized as he was looking through this game is that the mechs and the characters driving them are based on historical figures. So I know Gozen is based on, I think, Tomoe Gozen. I could be getting that wrong. But she was a female samurai. She was pretty badass. So I think I'll work on them first. So she's all silvers and steels and red. And red's going to pop better on white than it does on black. Not 100% on the white primer that I used, but it's okay. It's not that bad. It didn't pool. I was afraid I sprayed it on and it looked really heavy. So was a little worried about that. But right now, I think it actually ended up coming out pretty well. So okay, let's play with what we've got here. I think we're gonna start out. Looks like she's got silver and then a darker metallic in parts of the shoulders and that top part of the, like around the hip. And then she's got a white skirt. Her legs are a darker metallic. Her chest piece is the lighter metallic and red. And then she's got a sort of coppery, orangey bit here that goes into the wig. So I think we're going to start with the lighter silver and run with that. I feel like it's going to be easier to do the red after the fact. We'll see. We'll see if that... So that's not molded in. I'm going to have to paint in those swirls. It's interesting. All right, well, let's just give it a go. Oh, look, it's me using shadowed steel again. One of my favorite metallics. It's just so versatile. What's going to be tricky with her is that I am going to want to do a wash on her. And I'm going to want it to be maybe Earthshade. I don't think I want to start... I mean, I'm going to need to do some black liner and stuff up around here. But, you don't want to go too heavy with that Nuln Oil when she's supposed to be a nice, like, light color. You really don't want to go too heavy-handed. So, we will see. Oops. What did I do with my stack? Ah. I went to the trouble of getting these. There was someone in the bathroom when I was setting up, so I couldn't go into the regular bathroom, so I had to go to the secret backroom bathroom. Oops, I am doing the wrong part of the skirt. The upper part is the shadowed steel. Let's wipe that off. It's fine, everything's fine. It'll be fine, I'll just end up being seaming. I feel like this primer is just sucking up paint. That's how it goes. Interesting. Interesting. The shoulder piece does not entirely match what's going on the figure. That's okay. I'm just so used to painting metallics over dark colors. Everything's fine. So the other trick is these cards only really go down so far. I don't see their feet. I mean, you can sort of see them, but not really. Yeah, creative license. It's fine. downstairs, it sounds like, is playing with the mic. I don't know if it's someone who should be playing with the mic, or if the mic is just getting moved, but I can definitely hear something through that speaker. Oh, so it's me coming through there. Thanks. That would be weird. Please don't do that to me. It's very unsettling. Thanks. Also, the bit sound, there it goes. There's a delay there. That's interesting. I saw the bits in chat before I heard the sound through the Stream Deck. Hey, Travis, thank you for resubscribing. 7 months, man. So, one, thank you. And two, I am impressed that you are remembering to hit that Twitch Prime resub. Twitch Prime resubs do not automatically resub. You have to make it do it. Thank you. Good to see you, man. How is it going? You're surprised too? Hey, 7 months remembering is no joke. That is really good. Going good? Cool. Well, thank you for joining me. I am painting these amazing samurai mechs for John. He bought the game Starship Samurai, and I'm sure you agree that's heckin' awesome. So I hear someone on the stairs, which might mean I have food.
Yes, eat loudly into the mic.
Yeah, that sounds great. People love when you chew loudly into your mic.
I liked Travis's little emoticon that he did.
Yes.
My rap.
Alright. I have a meatball sub coming to me. It's going to be awesome.
Meatballs.
Meatballs.
That's cheesy sticks.
Let's see how much sauce they decided to put on it. They certainly put a lot of cheese. Looks like it's light on the sauce. Like I asked. Those are really big meatballs. Those are really big meatballs. If that's a small meatball sub, I am terrified of what a large meatball sub would be. Yeah, we showed it off last week. It's got these awesome samurai mechs. So, yeah. Excuse me for eating on camera and talking with my mouth full. But I got stuff with cheese and I want to eat it while it's melty. Because what's the point of getting stuff with cheese if you don't eat it while it's melty? Then it's just congealed. This is frankly a Look at this. This nonsense. Look at how big that meatball is. Social eating stream. That's a meatball that has been sitting, simmering in sauce for a long time. And as a partial Italian, I really appreciate that. They may not like sauce itself, but the flavor in the meatball, real good. I mean, it's technically a ball shape, but it's certainly falling apart. It's just more baseball size than golf ball size. Yeah, the color reference is actually really good. It doesn't show the full body, but enough of it. So, okay. From creative to social eating. I'm good if I'm eating right now. Anyway, let's get in there. So, here's the thing about these metallics. There's shadowed steel. Then there's this, like, I don't even know what this is anymore. The label is unreadable. But compared to shadowed steel, it's obviously a lighter metallic, like a lighter silver. But then there's that. And that is the, like, polished silver. So I feel like what I need to do is use this next and use this for highlighting. The polished silver is what I use. Mystery metallic. Yeah. Meatball sub review. Sub for subs. What I like about the polished silver is that I can use it to combine with other colors. It's what I used when I made the globe that Jareth is holding in the Labyrinth figures. I mixed colors into this to create pastel metallics, which are otherwise harder to to get. You can find dark metallics very easily. Like for example, and I'm going to be using this on one of these other guys. This is the purple metallic, but it's dark. And if you want to maintain that metallic, but have it be a lighter color, you're going to have to work it up with this. Or you can just take this, and if you only need a very pale color, but you need it metallic, mix the metallic in with another color. So like I used like that blue with this to make a pastel metallic blue. And that worked really well. So that's likely to be how I'll do some of this. So the other characters that we have here are, so I'm going to be working on Hideyoshi. We have Mototada. He's primed in black, obviously. Masamune, also obviously in black. He's going to be a lot of fun with that bright blue. Tametomo, who's black and green. Mori, who has that sort of coppery, orangey, and electric blue stuff going on. Oda, he's the one I'm going to need that purple metallic for. And Shingen, who is this other guy that I primed in white, who looks like an Oni. He looks like a demon. Oni are Chinese, not Japanese, but it's my frame of reference. I'm going to take another bite of my terrifying sub. Oh yeah, me too, man. That black and the bright blue, it's going to be so much fun to do. The black and the bright blue, and that orange and bright blue, that pops so nicely. So, but yeah, this guy, Masamune, is like 100% my jam. Now, let's see if we can get some of this lighter silver on goes in here. It's not immediately noticeable, but then when it dries, you realize, you're like, oh yeah, that is really a lighter color. I was saying though, she's going to be tricky because I'm going to want to do a wash to get in these crevices, but I'm not going to want to go too dark on her because I really don't want, I'm going to have to be very careful when I do a wash on her. Normally when I do washes, I'm like, slap it on. Get all in there. With her, I'm going to need to be very careful because I don't want that wash to go everywhere. I want it to be very directed. See how that is? It's a different shade of silver metallic. Just different enough. She's also got some black bits and pieces in there. And that's going to be easy for me to go in and play with. And once I highlight up with the much paler silver, you'll really be able to see the difference. Swapping screen's cool. It's chill. Cannot wait for the Fallout stuff to arrive. This is a good distraction though, because these are really cool. So I'm not sitting here being like, I could be painting Fallout. No, I'm like really excited. I actually asked John, I was like, can I paint these? Please. They're so cool. This is all gonna need a second coat. This primer is just sucking up paint. Not as bad as the thing I witnessed a couple of weeks ago. One of our regular viewers was painting a figure, and I assume it was a commission that he was doing. And he had primed it in the same color that the original material was, and then was airbrushing sort of a base coat over it, and realized as he was doing so that it was sucking up the paint. It turned out that the material that the figure was made out of was porous. Oops. So it needed a sealant over it before you went painting it, unfortunately. And he hadn't realized that because he had primed it in the same color that the figure was, so he hadn't realized that it had like absorbed some of the base coat, or some of the primer, until he went to try and base it out, and it was not good. And that's a real bummer. Her sword is flat out white. So we're going to have to play around with that and see what we can do to make it look cool. You're typing on a PS4. Dude, I appreciate that. Your level of commitment is unparalleled. Much more difficult? Yeah, I would say so. I'm going to type on my Switch. Yeah, actually, that would be easy. Just tap the keys. She's looking good. She's looking good. She's looking the way I want her to look. I think we're going to do the black. Yeah, we are missing you, having you on stream, Travis. Quite a bit. These meatballs are so ridiculous. I think we're going to do some of the black details. You'll be as unprepared as ever. That's how we roll, man. That's how our stream works. Why would we be prepared? You'll think about thinking about watching a Let's Play. That seems about our speed. Wow. Much better. Actually get paint out of it this time. I know it might seem silly me going over white with white, but I just want to make sure it's as opaque and bright as possible so that I can bring it down later without worrying too much. These figures were gray when I started, so could really have gone either direction. So that's why I decided I might as well prime for what I'm painting. I just want to make sure I have as opaque a coat as possible. There's some flashing there. I don't love it. It's a seam. Oh well. I'm looking forward to Anachrony. Even if I end up not playing, I'm really looking forward to seeing the game in motion, as it were. And seeing how the time travel-y aspect of it works. Dang it. This is a very awkward angle, Gozen. Why is your skirt like this? I almost need like bent brushes, like brushes that are at an angle to get some of this. Let that sit for a little bit. right. That's good. That's good. So there are certain points, those like really day glow colors that are contrasting on the darker ones. The trick with that is to get that sort of really bright pop, you want that on white. But the rest of the armor is black, which you don't want to use white primer under. So I think what I'm going to end up doing is basing some white on those before there we go. I'm going to base those in, like, do white underneath before I paint the other color. It still needs to soak up. She's looking okay. She's looking okay. I like her. Eat more of my sandwich. I can't believe this is a small. I refuse to believe it. Well, I'm going to let her sit for a moment. And we're going to go to Hideyoshi. Our buddy with the dramatic cape. I'm gonna So I think what we're gonna do is we're gonna do the gold detailing. And then we're gonna come back in and clean it up around the edges with black and then highlight up. And that's the best way of doing it. There we go. Antique gold. Looks like the right gold to me. Definitely the blade of his weapon is more like the gold of that. So we'll probably end up mixing a little of those two together. Again, the highlighting is going to be key on this. Ah, that was way more gold than I actually wanted. So this is what I mean by I'm going to end up needing to, like, clean up. With the black. Sorry, I can't actually move it closer to me, or else the camera is in my lap because it has such a wide range. I'm drifting off because I'm doing little detail work. I will try and stay under the camera more. But no, if I move the camera closer to me, I am filming my crotch, and that seems like a terms of service violation to me. Yeah, let's not do that. Some of the, like, me moving away from the camera is me trying to get better lighting, but it's silly because it's the same lighting. I'm just like, maybe if I move it closer to my face, the light will be better. It won't. I hope so. I hope they look amazing fully painted. I'm really looking forward to seeing how they all look together once they're fully painted. I don't think they were sculpted with painting in mind necessarily, I'll be honest. mean, these are definitely going to need another coat. I'm looking at them now. Gold is not opaque. But that's okay. I didn't expect it to be. Sorry, I'm drifting again. The handle on here is more of an antique gold than a like regular gold. It's like a really aged gold, so we're going to be using the darker one for that. I just looked at the time and realized it's almost 5. We'll probably be finishing up around then. You know, Andy was talking about playing in the 7 o'clock pre-release today, because it's a Magic pre-release event. If he would like to do that, he is welcome to. I may not keep streaming though. I may take a break. I'm tired. It was a long, long week. I may just chill for the evening. I mean, he's already looking pretty cool with all the gold detailing. I'm already really happy with him. He's definitely got more gold detailing in there. He's got some like up in his groin here. Like he's got some detail work in there. We're gonna have to break out the intensely tiny brushes we're gonna have to go with like the one eyelash nonsense for some of this stuff, which is gonna be a pain because they don't hold paint terribly well. But that's okay. It's okay. Everything's fine. God, it really is late. I was out with my mom earlier, and I lost track of time. I mean, I knew what time it was. I just wasn't... I don't know. Once I got here, I lost track of time. For dice mods, flip ships with the D2 variant. I mean, I can't see anything wrong with that. Everything is flip ships. So Travis, my friend, yesterday at the library, I ran a board game day. It was super fun. Had a good time. And I did not bring flip ships because it was in the library, and I had visions of the ships being everywhere. And but I kept thinking, man, how fun would it be to break out flip ships right now? Hey, Andy, if you're watching, is the refrigerator fixed? The cooler here kind of died. I feel like maybe not. Maybe it's not fixed. No such thing as a bad time for flip ships. I mean, I feel like maybe a funeral, unless it's like my funeral. If like you're at my funeral, I want board games all over the place. I want people to be like, you know what Amanda would have wanted? Amanda would have wanted flip ships. That's what I want. Celebrate my life as I lived it, playing flip ships. Oh my god, I feel like the entire underside of his cloak is gold. I'm looking at it right now and I'm like, oh my god, it is all, the entire underside of his cloak is gold. This is amazing. Okay, need a bigger brush for this. This is why I cleaned this brush. It's what they wanted. Yeah. Well, you won't have to even, like, joke about it with me. That's what I want. Flip ships. Just flip me right into the sun. Hurl me at an invading alien ship. Ooh, I just had a thought. Not about this. I'm really excited about this weapon. It's awesome. And about the underside of his cloak. I need more gold. This guy was a good choice to do first. He's nonsense and I love him. He's my new best friend. Oh, yeah. This is going to be satisfying. I feel like for this, I actually need Stuart Semple's Goldest Gold. So okay, let's talk a little bit about art feuds while I finish up this cape. I know. So okay, Stuart Semple is a British artist who is currently involved in one of the best art world feuds I've ever heard of in my life. So there's this artist, Anish Kapoor, who is kind of a douche. He's just, I don't know, he's got a reputation for not only being very self-aggrandizing, but selfish and nasty. I mean, he's got a rep. So he purchased the exclusive artistic rights to Vanta Black, which is the blackest black that has ever been created. It's that like microfilament black that's like ridiculously dark. Like your eyes can't quite wrap around how dark a black it is. Black. It's that black. Where like they coat stuff with it and no light really penetrates, so there's no reflection at all, so everything looks like it's a void almost. Anish Kapoor bought the exclusive artistic rights to it because it's made by a private company, so if they want to sell to someone they can, and he basically bought the right to use it in artistic ways, like as an artistic medium, exclusively. They will not sell to any other artists. Now, what good is this, since this stuff is like caustic and prone to bursting into flames, and it takes, like, it's ridiculous to apply, and it's delicate and annoying. Like, what's the point? Well, in the art world, you could use that, in art to make for a black that couldn't be, to make various artistic effects. Well, Kapoor made it so that no other artists get to ever use it for art. That was widely seen as very, very nasty of him, selfish. A lot of artists sort of feel like art should be a collaborative process, or at least artists should be willing to share with each other the means by which they make art. Stuart Semple is an artist in England. He was particularly incensed by Kapoor's behavior and said, fine, you know what? I've been working on these, like, super saturated pigments for a while now, and he had been. There was sort of there was an assumption, I think, at first that he did this in direct response to Kapoor. He didn't. He had been working on these for ages, but he's made like the pinkest pink, the greenest green. So one of the things that he did was he went and made a blackest black. And it is a black paint that can be used by anyone. It's an acrylic paint. And it is as close as you can get to Vanta Black without being Vanta Black, basically. It's not Vanta Black, but damn does it come close. And he has made it available to anyone. You can buy it off of his online store. He has a store online. It is culturehustle.com. And anyone can go on and buy it. And you can buy the pinkest pink, you can buy the greenest green, you can buy the loveliest blue. He also has a whitest white, and a couple of other cool things that came about post beginning of this feud with Kapoor. So he made these things available to people, which was really awesome, super, super cool. And under the understanding, it actually has a disclaimer on the site. If you are purchasing this, you are purchasing this, you are agreeing that you are not Anish Kapoor, nor are you an agent of Anish Kapoor, nor are you intending to give this paint to Anish Kapoor. Well, of course, Anish Kapoor got his hands on it, because it's how it goes, and proceeded to give Semple the finger covered in pink, covered in the pinkest pink. You know, buddy, doesn't make you look good. Makes you look pretty bad. which is really frustrating. It was very irritating. So Semple decided he would make the glitteriest glitter. It's called diamond dust, and the way it's made is it's literally flecks of glass. It is literally tiny glass shards. You should not handle it with bare hands. You should be wearing, protective gloves. You should be careful. You should make sure you're not handling it near any food or anything you're going to ingest, because you don't want to get glass splinters. This was his way of sort of saying, fine, you're going to give me the finger in my own paint. Try sticking your finger in that. He also has a couple of other things. He has phase and shift. Phase is, I forget which one is phase and which one is shift. One is a color changing, it's like an iridescent paint, which is very cool, which I want to get my hands on. And the other is a color change with temperature. It goes from pink to purple when you heat it, which is really awesome. And he also has a Goldest Gold. And what I love about the Goldest Gold is that the Goldest Gold is also part of a little feud. Apparently, this one artist whose name I am blanking on, but it does mention him, because it's the same sort of disclaimer on the gold as it is on the pink and green and black, is this one artist bought up all the sources of this one gold paint pigment, and it's now impossible to get. And it was like if you'll excuse me saying so, the gold standard for gold paint. So Semple made his own gold paint and said, okay, fine. You don't get to use it. You messed this up for everyone, and you don't get to use the gold paint that I've made. It's not for you. Which I discovered the other night, and it is an amazing looking gold paint. It's beautiful. It's really gorgeous. So what he does, the gold paint is just a paint. It's just a bottled liquid acrylic paint. The pink, a bunch of the others are powders that you can mix with a base. It can be his base, it could be any other base you want. You can mix it with linseed oil and make oil paint, which is cool. But you're basically making sort of these paints yourself, or you can buy them already mixed, which he does. He also has one that's brand new called Lit, which is the glowiest glow paint. And it's both light and temperature reactive. So you can charge it with heat, not just light. So you can heat it up and it glows, which is very cool. And he has a note on that one saying, everyone should buy this, especially Anushka Kapoor, because I feel like sharing light with the world is a good thing, and I want to share light with even someone I don't like. I just really like Stuart Semple. He's really cool. He's an interesting guy, and he'd been working on these pigments for ages, and this sort of allowed him to really get them off the ground, and he has made them available to the entire art community, which is really, really cool. It would be very easy as an artist to create something and keep it for yourself and say, I've created it, therefore I'm the only one who has, the right to use it. Semple is not that sort of guy. He wants to share what he has made with everyone. So he has done that. And I have nothing but respect for that. I think that's super chill. What's interesting about this to me is there's a very warm gold, warm like black going on here because of the glow off his cloak. There's a lot of like gold reflection on his cloak if you look at it. It's a very warm tone here and back here, obviously because the light reflecting off the gold of him is making this a much warmer tone, and he's definitely got these warm toned sort of interior bits. So I'm gonna have to, I think I'm probably gonna use maybe burgundy wine for that. Go in there and do some lowlights. Maybe a tiny bit, those inner workings. Use this deep red. Get in there. Maybe red brick would work. Those, when they're painted on, they really do look almost black. They're very, very dark. So I think maybe that's the way to go for that, is to really get in there and do highlighting using those sort of reddish tones. Yeah. This bright gold is annoying in that it clogs so easily. I don't think I've ever opened this bottle and not had to declog it. I think I've always had to declog this bottle. In fact, I think that's half of what the paint on this pin is. All right. Let's see if that... Yeah. It's something. Yeah, that bottle has some issues. The reason I'm trying to grab that bright gold is to get in on the rest of his blade. It's a two-tone. Yeah. History of paint beefs. Beef paint. Yeah, I find the whole history of Semple and Kapoor to be fascinating. Kapoor's just apparently kind of a mean guy. He's not. There's I want to say it's in Minneapolis. Maybe it's somewhere else. There's a giant bean. It's just this giant silver bean. And he made that. It's like a piece of corporate art, basically. It's ugly. Ooh, boy, that is a lot of gold. Yeah. So, Andy, I got a question for you. How much later are we here? You're waiting for Riley to complete his match? Alright. I think her underskirts are actually black underneath. And she's got a lot of red details. All right. See you when we see you, Travis. It was good to have you hanging out. Whoa, that was way more of that red than I really wanted. That's okay.
Robert Moore.
I'm gonna have to work on that later. Not loving how that's coming out. She's got all this intricate sort of wave and flame work there, and it needs to be a lot more delicate than I'm being, so I may need to cover that over and work on it later. dipped one of my rings in paint. Wasn't paying attention. The red that she has is a lot brighter, but I want to work up to that because it looks like it's electric, it's glowing, and that's not, if you just put bright red down, it's not going to look like that. It's just going to look like a stripe of bright red. Whereas if you build up to it so that you have a darker edge around it and then the bright red highlighted up, it'll look a lot more electric than it would otherwise. Andy should be finishing up soon, which means I'm going to be finishing up as well. I'll go playing around with her later. Gonna make sure I got all the paint out of my ring. Because I shouldn't wear it while I'm painting if I care that much. I got most of it up. It's fine. But I do want to sort of start with a darker red and then work up. Yeah. Flop. And we'll work a little bit more on the detail work on her next time. It should be next Saturday. So awesome. Well, I'm going to clean up.
Okay.
So thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.